What's going on? It's Dust Techie with my first build video for Path of Exile 2. Hope you like it. This was a good season for me to make my first build video because I've been playing since the first patch, but Path of Exile is my first POE game. I didn't play POE 1. So the first season, the first league, I essentially spent just learning the game, enjoying it, and ever since the beginning I was really into the whole comet build. So I tried it with the avatar. I ended up liking it with the witch as a demon witch. That was pretty cool, Infernalist. So comet season 1, I skipped patch 2 because of all the controversy. It looks like they got their stuff together, and then in patch 3 I started playing again heavily last season, made a lot of progress, made a bunch of different characters in that league. So it was really nice. I thought it was fun. So now that I'm all warmed up, I was able to get a good start in Fate of the Vaal, this new patch, or League 4 essentially. So I went ahead and made a druid just to try it out. So I got some notes while that loads up. We're making the druid oracle frostwolf auto comet bomber. So it's pretty lit. This is the intro now. It's just some notes for me to stay on track, but you should have seen some gameplay before this clip. Throughout the whole video, I'll probably loop some gameplay on top just as I kind of talk about it. But essentially, first I just want to tell you like why it works, like why this build. Apart from the gameplay that you've seen, I just think it's ridiculously fun. It's super fast. You can map around. So of course you got your sprint and everything, but at the same time with this pounce that's added, you're able to kind of like jump around the map really quickly. And if your pounce is like pretty strong and you're comboing in between and everything, then you're pretty much getting through the map pretty quickly, like I kind of show in the clips. So just a quick rundown of like the regular gameplay before I show you all the unique mechanics. Obviously just jump, lunar slash a few times, and then you could go ahead and hit them with the cross slash. It does a lot of damage, especially if they're frozen already. Of course it's even better if you activate the lunar blessing. Boom, so you got frost going off. So like just like in the clips that I'm about to show you guys, you'll notice that with the lunar blessing you get the small spikes. You get the spikes that kind of drop down on them, but you don't get the comet, just like what do you call that, Walking Calamity does. So if you watch Walking Calamity, you know, bear form looks really good. You know, they get the fire sparks, but then they also get the comets dropping down, the little meteors I should say. But for us, we're actually able to drop the comet by using cast on critical, right? So let me go ahead and I'm just like hop into campaign or something just to kind of show you. I'm not too far in the end game, just show you real quick. I haven't mapped too much. It's really like a good progress video, just so I could kind of show off the build before time goes on any further. I think it's only like day 4 right now with the new league, so it's pretty good. So I call that Lunar Calamity. I'm just gonna try to like showcase it for a second right here. But you should also be seeing some like clips overlaid. But it's really lit because you get the, like I said, you get the shards that drop. But at the same time, if you have the build set up the right way, you're also dropping comets as you go. Right now, we just hit end game, so it's not building up too crazy. I'll show you why. It's still pretty good though. It's a lot better for bosses and like really packed maps. But I mean, if we just keep on going here, we'll be able to like build up crit as we go. I mean, there's a comment that just dropped right there. I had some pretty good clips that captured it a lot better. I don't think there's enough mobs on screen in campaign really, but really it's fine. The comets part's really meant more for the bosses. In terms of just mapping, you know, just activating lunar and then jumping around, slashing everything up, you're pretty much fast enough to just wipe everything down. And now I'll show you the skill gems really quick. So skill gems, super straightforward. I try to make the build as easy to like play as possible. I didn't look up any videos the whole time playing up to this point, so I'm pretty proud of that. I think it's working out pretty well for me. And I looked up some videos really quick before starting recording this essentially, and there were no builds quite like mine yet, so hopefully gives you some ideas. So first, shred, the default melee attack. It's really good, even though I usually never use the default attack, but for the wolf in this case it actually shreds. So we have rage on there. I could upgrade all of these gems, but I mean, I'm kind of broke in the exalt department right now after buying some gear, but it's all good. We'll probably just find them on the floor. So again, we got rage, build up rage, crescendo, hit that extra last attack at the end, ancestral call. I mean, it's hard to notice visually, but I'm sure it's doing more damage. I know it is. Bleed as well. You know, this could all have the upgraded versions of their gems, of course, but bleed just to attach some extra damage on there. I'm not too worried about the gems right now. Again, it's just like a progress video. I'll continue to tweak it, but most likely we'll end up putting like heft here, some like more physical damage, something like that. We'll figure it out. Lightning bolt is here. It's really the only time I use lightning bolt, to be honest, is if there's something really strong and I'm just like trying to play it safe. I just really don't want to die or something. But even then, I still think our main attack, oil barrage, is still better, but I'll show you in a second. Lightning bolt is pretty good, just like a placeholder. I think I'm going to go with double talisman later on, but I'm just waiting to get a really good talisman that is better for like spells or just like range stuff. Really, I just want to buff the oil barrage. I'll talk about that in a second, but this works for now. Next, we got lunar assault. This is my other main attack. Pretty much, this is the main go-to default attack besides just the regular melee. Like, it just freezes instantly, especially with the gems that we got on, and you know, some of the skill nodes that we have in the tree. It just basically should freeze in like one tap, so it's really good. So 50% more freeze. Ice bite, really good, adds damage. I've had this on. This was one of the first gems I had since like I was like level 15 or something, and this one just really does work. Ancestral Call 2, boom. So we get the really, so Ancestral Call 2, that does for this ability is actually gives you 2 more slashes. So instead of the single slash that you saw, here, let's get a little bit more mobs. So like, check it out. See how 2 of them appeared? Really, it's supposed to be like 3 of them. Here, let me see. I think they're just like 2 bunched up, but I noticed 3 come out, so it's 2 bonus ones plus your original one. So trust me, you do get 3 slashes. It's pretty good. It just kind of helps with the AoE. It helps with the ideas that I have down the line that I'm gonna talk about later. So boom, got that. Pouncing around, like I mentioned, pouncing around just for speed. The idea here is pretty much leave some fissures. Pretty good. Eternal mark, by default it puts a mark on there. You could read it, but it just basically does more damage. That's all you need to know. Cooldown recovery, you know, like I think without this, let's check it out. So without cooldown recovery, 3.5 seconds. Waiting. Pounce. But with the cooldown recovery, I mean, it goes all the way down to 2.8. That's a huge difference to me. And I'll tell you about my ideas with the pounce in a little bit. Cross slash, you need it because you know, it just does a load of damage. For me, I'm running execute because I like using it as a finisher. Magnified area, bigger slash. Biting frost is pretty nice because they deal more damage to frozen unique. So if it's a unique damage and it consumes freeze to deal 40% more damage. So usually my combo in, you know, gameplay, I'm like hitting them with this first and then I'll hit them with this. So they're getting the execute damage and they're getting the biting frost damage. So that's good. Lunar blessing, you know, if you're a wolf, you already know you need this. So boom, cooldown, use the lunar blessing more often, greater effect. I think that's like more sparks everywhere, just kind of reaches them. More duration, wants to last as long as possible. Oil barrage, you should have seen in the clip already, but this thing is nasty. This is the boss melter right here. Every time there's a rare, anytime there's a boss, this is what we're using to just like melt them down in like seconds. Main thing with this, if you don't know about it, basically it shoots like, sorry, wrong move, but basically it shoots like this oil spill. Let me like go to a better area over here. So it shoots like this oil attack, and usually you're supposed to light it on fire. But when you have power charges and you have it empowered, there's a few different ways to get power charges, just depending on the way that you set up the build. The main way right now, I'll just devour this body. There's 3 different ways. I'll re-gear in a second and show you. But once you have power charges and then you use the oil spill, it turns into like a beam instead. It's like a Kamehameha beam with lightning infused through it, and you can see it just absolutely melts everything. So that is more than enough to basically eliminate anything in your way, to be honest. You just got to get some power charges. I'll talk about how we get those right now. Devour helps you get power charges, actually. So if there's a corpse on the floor, grab them. It's also good to execute if like an enemy is almost dead. Super easy to understand. Basically, you just want crater. Sparks are pretty cool on there. Alright, spirit gems. This is where it gets kind of hairy. It turns a little bit different. In my portal back, so I go grab the other spirit I need. We're running Herald Device. If you know the game, you know that's just going to clear anything around you. We're doing frost all the time, and their attacks, so Herald Device works. And you're just popping things around you. I got Overreach on there just to slap everything around me. But also you could put Cold Mastery on there. Like that gem was supposed to be there. Cast on crit as well. So you know we have cast on critical. I'll show you why we're able to proc Comet so often. But essentially we have Comet, of course. Spell Cascade for more Comets. Boundless Energy. That means that bar is filling up way faster. And then Clarity. I mean, this is just a placeholder for now. But the mana does help because I do kind of run through mana pretty fast. But let me go ahead and portal back and show you the last piece that we need, which is actually Lingering. Alright, we on. So I got the Lingering Illusion on, and super easy for the gems here. You really just put Charge Perfusion, get more charges, more chances for that, and then Prolonged Duration so your charges last longer. Of course, you could upgrade the Duration gem, and there's probably something else that you could put right here in the third slot, like Clarity or just anything else that it lets you put on. It's fine. So basically what it does is when you dodge, it leaves these illusions of you, these like after images of you, and if an enemy hits that, then it'll grant you a power charge. So now that's two ways that you've seen that we can get power charges. So one way is through devouring the bodies, the other way is through leaving these like illusions, right? Looks pretty cool too when you're in animal form. Right, so boom, boom, that's one way to get power charges. Another way is use Devour as a dragon, like that. And the third way is through this chest over here. I'll talk about that at the end though. So you want to be able to gain those power charges so that you can empower the oil barrage, and that's what will melt everything for you. Boom. Alright, so that's the skill gems. Go over skill tree really quick. Don't want to make a long video, but it's already kind of long. So really quick, we're Oracle. Only got second ascendancy right now, but once I get the rest of them, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go Unseen Path over here, because there are a lot of really good Oracle nodes. But for right now, I guess this is kind of starter friendly, so you'll be able to just like get started over here if you want to cast those auto comments, because I know I do. I pick comments every single league. So first thing you want, well, these two don't really help you, good for defense, but right here, 12% increased crit, inevitable crits. So inevitable crits, no matter what, every hit you're going to do damage with is going to be a critical hit. So the only thing is it'll roll yes or no. If it rolls no, it'll roll again and again and again until it hits a yes. The problem is every time it re-rolls it, it'll do less critical damage bonus. So you still want a high base crit, but no matter what, this is going to make sure we're getting energy towards the spirit gem cast on crit for the comments, right? So the rest of it's pretty simple. Over here, I've had this since the beginning. Just freeze build up. This allows us to pretty much one tap anything and just get all the freeze that we need. Helps a lot with that. I like having area of effect just for bigger slashes, and I do a lot of immobilization build up and damage just because we'll be able to freeze them faster. You know, faster freeze, more damage while they're frozen. They can't damage you. It's safer, and then while they're frozen, you just blast them with the beam pretty much. This right here just helps me get some armor. Boom, damage, damage, damage. Grabbing this node for anything around you. So when I'm mapping, I notice you're getting surrounded a lot with the wolf. So, you know, this helps a lot. Just kind of tear them down if they're all around you. Flat attack damage, really good. Mobilization build up. Rage, we want as much rage. This one kind of helps because every 10 rage gives us 12% increased physical damage. So with all of our rage and this, I'm watching this DPS go from like 5k, it jumps to like 15,000 or something. It gets ridiculous. I'll try to get a clip of it. Next, moving down, I'm working on this right now. I had this early on because I just know it's good. So I took it off because I know for sure I'm going to get it later. So I had more points to experiment with. But really, right here is just more channeling skills. So channeling skills is like the oil barrage one. We're just going to do the majority of our damage. So here, 20%, 12, 12. That's like 24. That's, what is that? Like 44 extra damage already, plus 6. right? So it's 50% extra damage. It's massive. I'll definitely grab that as soon as you can. Attack speed, really good. Attack speed, movement speed, crit chance for our cast down crit. More chilled damage, and we're actually running this ring right here, so all lightning damage becomes cold damage. You don't have to run this ring. It was still good without it, to be honest. But I was just thinking, you know, the lightning damage that come from oil barrage, I actually want that to be cold, so then we can just stack like this with the cold damage, right? Boom. Melee on hit. Honestly, I don't think I really need this one, but I like how we get more rage, because just rage itself gives you attack and defense, plus this thing. I think it helps beef the damage up once you're like mid-map. Physical damage, flat physical damage, it's just really good. Just grab this right now. More crit chance, just so we have more base crit chance. So like, for example, just to kind of like prove the point here, just for people that don't want just words spoken to them right here, without all of those nodes, this is like 12% or something, but we're at 22. I'm gonna keep pushing it as high as I can. I'll show you in the next video, but pretty much you want this as high as you can, so it's not re-rolling too many times and you're not losing too much damage when you do the inevitable crit. So boom, that's why we want that. Gem, just get whatever you can. Honestly, if you're just starting out, we'll tweak it later. Over here it's pretty nice. Extra cold while shapeshift, more crit chance, more crit chance. Right here, more crit chance again, and skill speed, so we're whacking them faster. Over here, this is pretty good. Plus 50% damage against immobilized enemies. That's insane. So combined with all the freeze we're doing, immobilization we're doing, you can see why we want that. And over here just helps us live a little bit more, 40%. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit squishy, so I needed this node, but it hasn't been so bad. Ever since I got this node, it's been helping a lot. Obviously, we're stacking armor as well, so you'll have to watch out for that. There's a few more defense nodes as well, but really not too much. Just going all damage here. And then up here, just grabbing 40% increase elemental. That's huge. And then 30% increase elemental. That's also huge. Definitely have some more ideas for the tree. I haven't gone too far away yet, because honestly, I like all of these new nodes that they made for Oracle. Some of these are insane. Like really, really good. Like these ones are really good. Effect duration, that's really good for the lunar. Physical damage, straight up 35%. That's insane. So there's definitely a lot of options, like this one as well. Power for first ones, 30% like everything. So this is ridiculous. We'll see how that plays out as we get more skill points. But what level am I? 71 right now. So we're just working with what we got. I'll update you on the next video for that. So that's all the nodes on the tree. Next, gear. I got pretty lucky, you could say, kind of. I don't know if you call it luck, but I was doing my best to just craft up as many talismans as I can as I went through the campaign. I think this was the last one I upgraded on. So you definitely want to go for the plus level melee skills. If you have some exalts and you hit endgame, you should be able to grab some talismans on the trade market. Just hit slash, you know, go for melee skills. Hopefully you know how to use the trade. But if you don't, just type here, melee skills. Some of the other ones that you want, you know, type in some of these, just pause the video. And then you want to go for talisman, right? And then you can find them. They're pretty cheap, but you want to put like the minimum. Let's see what the 4. So at a minimum plus 4, it's like 1 Vaal, right? So it's not bad. You can grab some. They're definitely like, I thought I was gonna make money off those, but honestly, you gotta craft them up a little bit more. But yeah, we got mostly physical damage with the gems. Boom. Ring right here, like I told earlier, lightning damage converted into cold for the ice barrage, for the oil barrage. I'm just going mostly armor for defense right now, so nothing special here, just a bunch of armor. Here's what actually does kind of matter, is we have 44 spirit on the amulet. With the campaign spirit, this is just enough to run 2 of these, right? 2 of these spirit gems down here. So if you're mapping, then you have Herald of Ice on, so you can pop everything around you. But if you're fighting a boss, you want Lingering Illusion on so that he can hit your after images. The boss can hit your after images, and then you can charge, do that, and then charge your oil barrage and basically tear him down. But the reason you want that is because you can't use Devour. There will be no corpses for you to basically eat for power charges if you're doing a pinnacle boss. However, I do have this other setup right here. If you're able to get a chest that also has 40 spirit, then you'll have enough to run all 3 at once, and you don't have to think about it. This is pretty much the best way right now, because I'm talking about gear. And there's 3 different options I basically found with the gear. At the moment, you can have a chest with res and armor, defense, all that, and spirit, like just a regular chest with spirit on it, then you can run all 3. If you don't want to do that, you could run any other chest of your choice. Like this one, I'm experimenting with this one literally just today. It just gives me so much rage. I'm in melee, so I'm constantly getting hit all the time. So I think I'll have a bunch of rage with this. I'll let you know how it goes with this chest right here. But you know, there's a bunch of new uniques. There's so many different combinations to try, so we'll see. But the other combo that you can do is with this one. So what this does is it gets you power charges on hit. It's really good if you don't want to devour bodies, and if you don't want to leave lingering illusions, because I can see how that can get kind of annoying. Instead, when you hit just anything, you have a 25% chance to get a power charge. Well, a quarter chance is pretty good, so you'll be able to just hit them a few times, and you'll likely have like a pretty good hit going. Some power charges going. You can get up to 3 power charges, at least with the nodes that I have right now. I'm sure you could get more with the other nodes and everything. But let me see him just hit him a few times. Let me just see. Oh look, see we got the power charge. But we'll always only be at 2. That's the kind of the downside to it. You'll only be at 2, because if you get to 3, it instantly goes away because lose on reaching maximum, right? But this is a good way to constantly have charges so that you could use the beam a little bit more consistently, but you only lose 1 charge. If you don't mind the trade-off, it's really not bad. Or you could just have all 3 of these on. You don't have to worry about switching them. Or you could try this rage like what I'm doing today. So that's like the main thing about the chest. That's really the more interesting part. The rest of it's pretty easy. Gold ring, just want to stack as much physical attack, just different types of attack as you can. Flat damage. Get that movement speed. Running rarity right now because it's early, so everything is good. Belt. For the whole beginning of the game, I was running this unique belt that I'm sure it's very cheap as soon as you unlock the store, but it really saved me in the beginning, which was this one. It's a really basic belt once the league progresses a little bit, but just because if you're watching this early on, or you just don't have that much loot, if you're able to grab this, it's actually really good because you get that instant recovery on low life, and I can't tell you how many times it saved my life. So that was an honorable mention right there. Charms, use whatever you want. I like this one because it grants us rage on use. So boom. We'll get a better belt soon and then put some more charms up. I just really wanted to have this video up because I always wanted a build video. So here we go. All right, boom. Talked about the chest. Talked about the spirit gems. Really quick, just tell you about my cancel idea. Now, basically the idea was to have all these wolves on screen. So if you didn't know already, you get wolves from Pounce. So I mean, that's how I have this wolf right here. And it's pretty cool because they don't go away until they literally die. So it's really good. So you get a bunch of wolves from Pounce. Not bad. Summon wolf right here. However, you can also get wolves through Spirit Gem of the Wolf Gem. So that'll give you what? Where is it? I'm just grab any random one. Right here, Wolf Pack. So this will give you 4 wolves. I'm not sure if you could put 2 at the same time, but then maybe you could have 4 plus Pounce. That's a lot of wolves. The whole idea behind that was to take this one over here, Lord of Wilds. You can use a scepter while using a talisman. So that's why I had this scepter right here. The scepter was pretty good, so I gave it a shot. I'm sure it's viable if I wanted to do minions. I think you could really make that crack. There's a lot of really good nodes for minions right now. You can get like minion helmet, minion necklace, all that stuff. So I'm sure it could be really good, but I just kind of canceled the idea because I'm pretty committed to comment. I just love dropping comments. So I'm gonna try to focus on that along with the oil barrage as well. But oil barrage triggering comments like this clip that I've been putting on the screen, it's really insane and it looks really cool. So I'm gonna stick with the oil barrage comments. But if you wanted to, you could do minion wolves. It's pretty nasty. It's really, really good. So that was one of my cancel ideas. It's pretty much the end of the video. Right now, I have some final ideas for just final plans. So I think we could do like an infinite Pounce. If I can continue to get this cooldown time even lower, and I have some really good ideas for that, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, then we could basically pounce around the whole map, and hopefully they could just never damage us because we're just constantly pouncing. Constant comments, I'm trying to proc that as much as we can, and then screen wide slash. So as soon as we hit this, I want it to cover the whole screen. That'll be pretty interesting. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for watching.